Hello, everybody. We're going to get started and get Christine out in just a couple of minutes. We're going to give everybody a few moments to get settled in. People aren't always on time for an online show, as you may know. So just about 2 more minutes and we'll get her right out, okay?
Book. It's really, really good. It should be a movie directed by Martin Scorsese. Oh. Well, hey everybody. You caught me reading my favorite book, Night Drive, by Garnett Rogers. It's all about his road exploits with his brother Stan all across Canada and the U.S. Really should be a movie. I think it will be a movie. Before we get going, I would just like to tell a little story about Santa Monica. I love that town, and I love McCabe's guitar shop. In fact, the strings on this guitar, I bought them at McCabe's because I buy them online. And they have wonderful instrument lessons there, and they have free coffee, which is really great. People come for the coffee, they stay for the music. And I first played in Santa Monica, I think it was 1984 or 85. Oh, no, it was probably more like 86 or 87, because I had just gotten engaged. And that was a really important part of this story, because I played at a club called At My Place, which was not far from the Santa Monica Pier, as I recall. And I stayed at the Holiday Inn on Colorado. And at the club, At My Place, I made $81. It was a Monday night. And somebody came from The Tonight Show to see me. And I didn't get the Tonight Show gig because somebody sneezed during my show. And I stopped and I said, "Oh, God bless you." And then I continued on with my song. But I did that because I went to Catholic school. And unless you say God bless you when somebody sneezes, they're in danger of having their body taken over by the devil for the rest of their lives. And so it's like I saved them from eternal damnation. But this guy from The Tonight Show told the people at Tonight Show, "You can't say God bless you if somebody sneezes in the audience. She's not ready for television." So I made $81. And I made $80. And my hotel room cost $81. So I lost $1 on the gig at My Place. And I was 3,000 miles from home. So if you count in car fare from New York and back. But I'm walking along the beach the next day. And I'm just lost in thought because I had just gotten engaged. And I'm thinking, how can I think about doing this for a living if I'm 3,000 miles from home and I lost $1? And I'm getting married. This is the time to save money, not be spending money like a drunken sailor. So I'm walking along, and suddenly this bird flies by me on the beach in Santa Monica, so close that I could feel the wind of its wings, and I kind of ducked. And it had something in its mouth, and it landed about 100 yards ahead of me. And whatever it was, he was like flapping it around, spitting it out, and then picking it up and flapping it around, spitting it out. And I figure he's trying to stun. He's going to eat whatever it is. So I'm just watching him as I'm walking along. And he finally spits it out and flies away. And I thought, oh, well, whatever that little animal is. I thought maybe it was a turtle or something. It was his lucky day because he didn't get eaten. And I'm going to go up there. I'm going to go and congratulate him. So I'm walking on the beach, and I'm walking up to what I think is a little turtle, and I look down. It was a $5 bill. And I picked it up, and I unscrunched it because it had, like bird saliva on it. And I'm thinking, I haven't lost $1. I've made $4 on this trip. I'm not quitting show business. Oh! So, but we ended up breaking up, and I didn't get married. But but still, isn't that a great story? And I framed it. I framed that $5 bill, and it's in a frame in some kind of a storage unit somewhere in Rochester, New York. And whenever I finally settle and have my own place for real, because right now I'm speaking to you from the Lower East Side of Manhattan, and right outside my window is the Manhattan Bridge, and just on the other side of that is the Brooklyn Bridge, and just on the other side of that is Ellis Island. So I'm in a very historic part of New York, and I'm sorry if my computer's making beep noises. I tried to fix it so it wouldn't do that. And the other thing I have to tell you, we are broadcasting from the House of Mouse Traps. I have 10 mouse traps around my living room kitchen. And if I see a mouse, if you see me like jump up and scream and run, you'll know that my mouse, who I try to think of him as a pet, that he's come to visit. And it makes me very, very scared. But of these 10 traps that I have around, 5 of them are humane traps. 5 are glue traps. This is a smart mouse. He's not getting caught by any of those. So Brandon O'Sullivan is at the controls tonight. Should I just start with my first song?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, all right, here we go. Scientists from all over the world have been debating the status of one of the planets in our solar system. Is it a planet? Is it not a planet? You, Earthlings, residents of Santa Monica Oleanites, you listen to the scientific facts laid out in the song. You decide for yourself. Is it a planet? Or is it a planet? In Arizona, at the turn of the 20th century, astromathematician Percival Lowell was searching for what he called Planet X, 'cause he knew deep down in his soul that an unseen gravitational presence meant a new planet spinning in the air, joining the other 8 already known, circling our sun up there. But Percival Lowell died in 1916, his theory, only a theory, till 1930 when Clyde Tombaugh in a science discovered Planet X, 3.7 billion miles from our sun. A smallish ball of frozen rock, methane and nitrogen. It joined Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Our solar system's newest neighbor, 2/3 the size of our moon. A tiny, barely visible speck, cold, minus 440 below. Not exactly paradise. They named the planet. Yes! Go to the head of the class. That same year, 1930, Walt Disney debuted his own Pluto as well. But a cartoon dog with the very same name as the CEO of Hell. Oh, that was not your normal Disney style. Most thought he was riding the coattails of Plutomania sweeping the land, not unlike our modern love for manatees and whales. For the next 5 decades, mysterious Pluto captivated our minds. As late as 1978, its own moon Charon was seen for the very first time. But now, telescopes and satellites and computer calculations say that Pluto may not be a planet at all, creating great consternation. Some scientists say that Pluto is a trans-Neptunian interloper swept away by an unknown force, or a remnant of a wayward comet somehow sucked off course. Others say Pluto is an asteroid in the sun's gravitational pull. But if you had asked Clyde Tombaugh, he would have told you that's all bull. I get hundreds of letters from kids every year, he says. It's Pluto the planet they love. It's not Pluto the comet. It's not Pluto the asteroid. They wonder about above. And at the International Astronomical Union Working Group for Planetary System Nomenclature, that is a real club, they too say Pluto is a planet, reinforcing Clyde Tombaugh's view of nature. Norwegian Kari Eksnes, professor at the Theoretical Astrophysics Institute, he too says Pluto is a planet, and a significant one to boot. But at the University of Colorado, astronomer Larry Esposito says if Pluto were discovered today, it would not be a planet. End of discussion, finito. He says that Pluto was definitely not spun off from solar matter like the other 8 planets we know. By every scientific measurement we have, is Pluto a planet? No. And now many astronomy textbooks refer to Pluto as less than a planet. I guess if Pluto showed up at a planet convention, the bouncer would be forced to ban it. St. Christopher is looking down on this and he says, Pluto, I can relate. When I was demoted from sainthood, I gotta tell you, little buddy, I didn't feel real great. And Scorpios look up in despair because Pluto rules their sign. Is now reading their daily horoscope just a futile waste of time? It takes 248 Earth years for Pluto to circle our sun. It's tiny and it's cold, but of all heavenly bodies, it was Clyde Tombaugh's favorite one. Till he was 92, he worked every day in Las Cruces, New Mexico, determined to maintain the planetary status of his beloved Pluto. But how now do we deal with it? Scientists think they have proof that Pluto is never a planet. How do we handle this truth? As the PhDs all disagree, we don't know yet who's wrong or who's right. But wherever you are, whatever you are, Pluto, we know you're up there tonight. And in the year 2015, you got to see the New Horizons Express fly by and take pictures of your way cool surface to send to your webpage address. http://colorado.edu/plutohome.html. You've got your own webpage for a little guy. You've made quite a splash. Yes, at the turn of the 20th century, astromathematician Percival Lowell, in his quest for Planet X, started this ball to roll. But here in the 21st century, we think he may have been a little off base. So we look at the sky and wonder what new surprises await us in outer space. We look at the sky and we wonder, oh, I hope you liked it. And you know what? I sang one of the lines wrong. Oh, I sang one of the lines wrong because they changed Pluto's website. It's now, it was all these letters and dashes and numbers and everything, but it's so easy now. It's SEEPLUTONOW.com. See PlutoNow.com. So if you're still interested in Pluto and what it's doing, and in fact, based on what I just sang to you, I want you all to go to the chat room now. I'm going to ask you 3 important questions, okay? I want you to write down, if you believe Pluto is a planet, I want you to type into the chat room, planet, okay? But if you think Pluto is not a planet, I want you to type into the chat room, planet. And the third question is, I want you to answer this. Do you think Donald J. Trump is goofy? I bet that's going to get a lot of thumbs up. You know, I made a list of my songs. Oh, okay, this next one. This is a real crapshoot. Back in 2012, the people at the Guthrie Center in Great Barrington, Massachusetts, oh, and by the way, I want somebody who's in the chat room. I've seen them coming in. I want someone to count them up, all right? We're going to have an after party on Zoom, so we'll discuss this, whether How many people here
I'm
believe
on
it's
it,
a planet?
Christine. I'm trying to count them.
Okay, Brandon's on it. Great. Okay, so 2012, at the Great Barrington Guthrie Center, they challenged every performer that year and said, this would have been the year that Woody Guthrie would have turned 100. So we want you to write a song that you believe Woody Guthrie would write if he were alive today. And this was quite a tall order. I mean, it's Woody Guthrie, and 100, his birthday. And so I usually don't write songs on assignment, but this one I took as a challenge. It took me a whole year, to memorize this. And this is in 2012. This is 8 years later now. And I think this is still a problem for me. And you can tell me if this is still a problem for you. Way back last century, I joined America Online. Had to come up with a password, something uniquely mine. I picked the word lightning. I have no idea why. Lightning's gonna be my password until the day I die. Remember how it felt to get your first password, become a member of the cyber generation? How proud you were of yourself. Then I opened an account with Amazon. They wanted a password too. So again, I picked the word lightning. It was a logical thing to do. Then I joined Facebook. They said a single word was not sufficient. They want both letters and numbers to be safe and efficient. So I added the number 52 to my word lightning. Lightning 52 is my Facebook password. My online skills are heightening. But then I read it's dangerous to use the same password everywhere. So I thought, okay, what's easy to remember and accompanies lightning up in the air? Thunder! That'll be my new password as I download iTunes. But they also want a number, so Thunder 1 is what I picked that afternoon. Then I joined satellite radio, another password to create. What goes with lightning and thunder? Hail! That'll work just great. But they said no, hail is too short a word. But hailstones, that works fine. I've already come a long way from lightning and obsolete America Online. Then I joined Gmail, lightning, thunder, hailstones, Twister. But they tell me that's a weak password, so I consult my little sister. When you have computer trouble, you can't go to anybody older and wiser. Because guess what? There is nobody older and wiser. I know a woman whose 3-year-old helps her when she has computer trouble. I said, keep that to yourself. You may have a genius child, but you are an idiot. So anyway, I asked my little sister, what should I do? And she said, how about the word hurricane? But add a number, make it secure. So Hurricane 53, get the bad guys from my digital door. So far so good, till the day Facebook let me know somebody hacked into my account. My old password has gotta go. Oh no, Lightning 52 became Lightning 53. But only for a couple of weeks. Cause again, my account got hacked again and my password needed tweaks. But Lightning 54 was rejected. They said it was way too close to Lightning 53. So I made a bold choice. Humidity 9, that's the new password for me. Now, everything was A-okay until the day I let a friend use my laptop. She did something to my AOL account that brought it to a screeching stop. They said she emailed way too many people. My account got junked. I could reopen it in 24 hours, but my password was now defunct. So AOL gave me a new password, my zip code, and my initials. It's official. Well, I tried changing it back to Lightning. They said, nope, you gotta pick another word. So for whatever reason at that particular moment in time, Typhoon 56 is what I preferred. Lightning, Lightning 52, Thunder 1, okay. Hailstones, This is the sing-along part. Weren't you paying attention? Lightning 53, lightning 54. Starting to get confused. What are those the passwords for? Humidity 9, CL10025. I think I'm starting to overload my brain's external drive. Typhoon 56. I don't remember what that does. If only I could go back to the time when lightning was the only password I had to remember, the only password to memorize, the only password to open sesame, everything under digital skies. But the days of the simple password are ancient history. I'm gonna change my password to I'm an old idiot 123. I can't believe I got through that whole song without getting lost. And it's the only song I didn't print out the lyrics for, so I was really nervous. But I got to tell you, and this goes no further than this room that you're in right now. Some of those are still my passwords. Oh yeah. I had planned to change all of them after I wrote the song, but I just don't have enough room in my brain anymore. And people said, "You are singing your real passwords live on the internet? Aren't you afraid somebody out there is going to steal your identity?" I said, "No, not at all, because I can look at you and I can tell you can't remember your password. What are the odds you could remember mine?" But there's actually something serious at the end of that song. I think that when we all go to the nursing home, that this is when we all change to the same password. And that password will be, better write this down, this is maybe in your future, that password will be I'm an old idiot 123, with no apostrophe, just IMANOLDIDIOT 123. I'm an old idiot 123. So we will all have the same passwords. So this way, when you do get confused, you can just ask your friend, "What's my password?" And it's the same as hers. But the hear the cars out there. But the real plus is that we really could then start trading identities, and the old folks home will never be the same. Oh yeah, I know. I'm cut out to be like a crazy old lady. I can't wait to move in one. It's gonna be fun. It really it was. First time, we're coming up now to a very important part of the show, requests. And this is a song. I'm 68 years old. This is a song I wrote when I was 30. So 68 minus 30, I can't do math anymore. But it was a long time ago. And I can't even remember which fret I put this on. I'm just going to check my tuning here. And it was a time in my life where a lot of my girlfriends were getting married. Especially when you start to inch up on 30. That's big. That's big. So, this is requested by Matt Price. He's going to be one of the guests in the After Zoom party. He's a great songwriter. I couldn't believe he asked for this one. He's such a tough guy, but I think he's probably a little bit of a softie. Everyone I know is getting married this summer. Living together is no longer enough, I guess. Blushing 30-year-old brides register their china pattern and go shopping for that long white dress. Maybe she's becoming aware of her own mortality. The thought of having children doesn't seem so wrong. Maybe he's grown tired looking for that perfect woman when the perfect woman's been there all along. Whoops. I've seen them walking down the aisle, the groom nervous, the bride all smiles, both feel a little foolish after all these years. They think they know each other well, but looking in their eyes no one could tell. They're trying hard to cover up those age-old fears. And I've danced with the best man, all the relatives. The music sounds so tinny as I glide across the room. Oh, it feels strange to dance at weddings of those who swore they'd never marry, those off now on their honeymoon. Everyone I know is getting married this summer. Living together is no longer enough, I guess. Blushing 30-year-old brides register their silver and go shopping for that long white dress. Oh, it's so kind of melancholy. And I have to tell you what I was thinking when I was singing that. I've been working on a new album. It's called On My Way to Hooterville. I'm really excited about it. I think of it as my musical version of comfort food. It's coming out at the end of September. And I've been recording in a studio. Well, I started it last year, but then we had to stop, of course, everything. And the studio is on 20th Street and 7th Avenue, and it's right down the block from Kleinfeld's Bridal. I would walk by Kleinfeld's every time I go to the studio, and I'd watch all the girls say yes to the dress. I have to say, I love that show. And I want to tell some of the big girls, don't go strapless. Oh, no. Oh, no. You need straps. Somebody's got to tell them. Somebody's got to. But I was thinking about Kleinfeld as I was singing that song. Now, this next song is also a request, and I wrote down who requested it. Was a couple. So maybe if they're in the chat room, you can identify yourselves. But this is a song I wrote in 1980. And it was during an incredible heat wave. It was 104 degrees during the day. It was in the summertime. It was in July or August. It was so hot. And I was in the Village to see Cheryl Wheeler. Oh, yeah. She was playing at the other end. It's now called the Bitter End again. It was called the Bitter End. For a while, it was called the Other End. And it had two sides. It had this one side that had concerts and tickets and quiet and air conditioning. And then the other side, which was a restaurant, where you played 6 sets a night for $50. And that's the side that Cheryl Wheeler was on. It was 1980. She was already great, but people just didn't know how great she was. So I watched Cheryl Wheeler do a whole set in front of this incredibly noisy crowd that was really not interested. They have no idea what they missed. Then I went down the block to see Paul Jeremiah. He was playing at Kenny's Castaways, and the air conditioning had broken at Kenny's Castaways, but they kept candles on the table for atmosphere. And I think the atmosphere they were going for was one of the levels of hell. It was so hot. I lasted just 2 songs, but Paul Jeremiah, great, great bluesman. And I walked home. Well, I didn't walk home. I walked to the subway, thinking of Cheryl Wheeler's kick-ass style of music and thinking of Paul Jeremiah's blues style. And this song just sort of tumbled out. And again, I can't remember where I used to play it. I'll play it on this fret. Here we go. But this, to me, is like so important for summertime love. Oh, this hot summer's got me down. You can fry an egg on the street. Heat waves are wiggling on the sidewalk. Cops are dropping like flies on the beat. I need a new boyfriend to take me in, protect me from this humid air. Be you from Brooklyn, Staten Island, or Queens, I don't care. doesn't matter what kind of loving you're into, or how big your apartment might be. All you need is an air conditioner, and you're the man for me. Oh yeah, I'm a practical girl. You can lay me. Oh, whoa. Oh, now I forgot the words. I just throw in one line that's unfamiliar, and I'm like, you can stand me in a cold shower too, but if you don't have an air conditioner, I will not go out with you. It doesn't matter what kind of loving you're into, or how big your wallet might be. All you need is an air conditioner. You are the man, 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 you are the man for me. Ba-da-ba-da-boo-ba. What's that you say? You live by the Hudson River and a breeze blows through your door? Well, sweetheart, if you don't have a Friedrichs in your window, I don't want to hear anymore. What's that you say? You live in a penthouse, you go to terrace with a view in the night. Well, that's swell, but I really must tell you, an air conditioner's a much prettier sight. Doesn't matter what kind of loving you're into, or how big your car might be. All you need is an air conditioner, and you're the man who, you're the man who don't care what kind of loving you're into, or how big your might be. All you need is an air conditioner, and you're the man, oh, you're the man, oh, you're the man for me. You know what? I recorded that on my very, very first album, which was live at CBS Studio B, and my friends Hilly, Lily, and Lulu sang backup on that song. And Hillary lives in Santa Monica. Yeah, she produced, I did a record, Christine Lavin and Friends, live at McCabe's a couple of years back. Daniel Kahner's on it, Mary Jo Mundy's on it, Pat Whiteman, David Lucky, Maud Maggart sang on the finale, sort of uncredited Maud Maggart. She's fantastic. And so Hillary's watching. Hi, Hillary. I hope you come to New York soon. She got herself a new hip, and then the whole pandemic thing happened, and she hasn't been able to travel. And her New York apartment is a 4th floor walk up. Just what you want to walk up when you've got a new hip. So shout out to Hillary. And that's a great, wonderful thing happened with that song. Sutton Foster, who is as big a Broadway star as you can get, she has her own TV show too, called Younger. Have you ever seen it? Makes me so glad I'm older. Oh, the things younger girls go through these days. But Sutton Foster did a show of all hot weather songs in the dead of winter. And Air Conditioner is one that she did. And I have more than 100 email addresses of little theater girls around the country who tracked me down because they want to sing like Sutton Foster sings Air Conditioner, which is so great. And I have it in 3 keys now, and I send it to them. And of course, I never charge them because I thought folk singers were poor until I met actors. Oh my God. I bet these actors who were doing, I won't say the name of the show because God rest his soul, the author has died, but the pay that they got, and these were like top-notch Broadway people who just happened to be available, the pay they got didn't cover their subway fare. And that's when I realized, oh my God, I will never charge an actor if they want to sing my music. I'll pay them, I'll give them money along with the sheet music. But, that would be a nice way of segueing into, it would be nice if you would tip me, because this is all I have to do to make a living right now. And I don't waste the money. I only go to Trader Joe's once a week and Target, if I need paper towels. But this next song, and again, I can't find the name of the person who requested it, but it's just fortuitous because this is a song that has been covered by Andrew Ratchin, who's going to be in the Zoom after party. He is one third of a trio called Uncle Bonsai, and he's, as a solo, he's called Electric Bonsai Band, and he's one of the most talented singer-songwriters I know. His father was an opera singer, and he kind of inherited his father's beautiful vibrato, gorgeous voice. But this is a true story about someone, and I was going to call her and ask her if I could say her name, and then I forgot to call her and ask her. So I'm not going to say who it's about, but I will tell you it's a true story. Oops. Oops. Should have brought a tissue with me. They're having a going-away party for her, and suddenly the doorbell rang. She opened the door, surprised to see a delivery man holding a beautiful vase of roses in his hands. For me, she said. He nodded his head. She took the flowers in and read the note. Roses from the wrong man. Poetry written in the wrong hand. She waits for one, she hears from another who tells her how much he loves her with roses from the wrong man. She places the vase in the middle of a living room. The air is scented with the beautiful sweet perfume. She takes a deep breath, closes her eyes, shakes her head slowly and sighs. Roses from the wrong man. Poetry written in the wrong hand. She waits for one, she hears from another who tells her how much he loves her with roses from the wrong man. How long can she hold out for someone who might never come around? Oh, and how many times will this other man try when she keeps turning him down? She's not getting any younger, but she don't want to settle for less. Oh, how could such a pretty bunch of flowers trigger such deep unhappiness? Ever since she was 11 or 12, it was her dream to receive the kind of flowers carried by the homecoming queen. Well, sometimes dreams can come true in ways Sometimes dreams can come true in ways you don't want them to. Roses from the wrong man. Roses from the Wrong Man. My brother Christopher tells me that there's a male equivalent to this. It's called Brownies from the Wrong Woman. When he lived in Florida, there was a woman who she had a real shine for Christopher. And she would leave brownies in his mailbox. And he never asked her out. But he ate every single brownie. Just like a man. And he's my brother. What can I say? He's the other Chris Lavin. He was born on Columbus Day. And now, of course, Columbus is like totally dissed. So, but I always call myself the other Chris Lavin. Christopher is really the funny one in our family. This next song, this is another request. And this has an interesting backstory. I lived at 316 West 75th Street, and right diagonally across the street is 33 Riverside Drive, where Ira and George Gershwin lived. They had like adjoining penthouses, and I guess they were quite the party givers. So what happened is Robin Bateau called me up one day. This is a long time ago, early 80s, and invited me to a softball game where all these musicians were going to play. And I was just, for one thing, Robin Bateau calls you up and invites you to something. It's like, well, your life is made. He's catnip for women. Thank God I never had a romance with him, but in my mind I did. But anyway, so because it was a softball game, I did not bring a purse. Because what am I going to do with the purse when I'm going to be playing softball? And I'm so excited. I love team sports. I really do. So I'm crossing the street because it's in Riverside Park in the 90s, and I'm in the 70s, so I'm going to go north. So I'm crossing over 33 Riverside Drive, and I see on the sidewalk a pearl earring on a post. It was a pierced earring, and it was a good-sized pearl, and I picked it up, and there was a doorman right there. I said, look what I found. I said, I bet this is a real pearl. I bet it belongs to somebody in your building. And he said, well, what do you want me to do with it? I said, well, somebody might want it. He goes, no, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want the responsibility. You take it. So I didn't have a purse, so I put the pearl in my sneaker. And I went off and I played this baseball game, which turned into this song, which is one of my most requested songs of all time. And I have to tell you that I have the lyrics here on the screen because it's so long and I'm so scared that I'll get lost. But as long as I have why is this making? I hope you're not hearing this little noise it's making because I set up my computer so it wouldn't do that, and it's still doing it. But anyway. This is so requested, and I so never do it, but it's a true story. Do you remember that song by Janice Ian? That one where she complains about not getting chosen for the basketball team? I'm sorry for that cheap rhyme, but her song went, for those whose names are never called when choosing sides for basketball. Remember that depressing song? I would have written about that, but she done it first. 'Cause when you're 5'2", all right, 5'1.5", and everybody else in the whole gym class is 5'3" and even taller, it hurts. Truth is, I hadn't thought about that for years. But then a recent phone call rekindled all those fears. A softball game, Robin Bateau said, and you're invited. Softball, great, that's my game. My softball's practically my middle name. I'll be right over, I said, sounding excited. Even though I can't throw, I can't hit, I can't run, I must admit I can't catch, I can't pitch. In softball, I have not found my niche. But I don't let details get in my way. Team sports, ooh, that's what I'd love to play. I got dressed, got my sneakers tied, made it to the park in time for choosing sides. Pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me. Pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me. No, I don't own a glove, but I can always borrow from the other team. Pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me. I won't bore you, this part goes on for quite a long time because 20 people showed up to play. They picked 10 to a size was the ranks of the unchosen swelled and the ranks of the ranks of the chosen swelled. The ranks of the unchosen were depleted. I stood there and I tried to look cool. Well, deja vu. I was the last one chosen. Even after the overdressed Felicity Rosen. I don't know if you know this girl, but she was wearing high heels, stockings with seams, and those Lee stick-on nails. And they picked her. Well, anyway, they put me in the field, sulfur out and to the right. I was practically out of sight. But everybody said I had a real good day. I didn't make any errors. I didn't make any plays. See, the ball never actually came out my way, and I figured, well, it's gonna be one of those days. Well, coming up to bat was a whole different kind of humbling experience. I took one swing and missed. That was no surprise. I took another swing and missed. That was no surprise. Then I practiced strategy. I let one go by. It was called the ball. I had a proud moment. Which made me overconfident. Because then I swung at the next one. I actually hit it. But it was bloop, bloop, bloop. Right back to the pitcher, and he threw it over to first, and I was out. And again, none of this is any kind of a surprise. But as I was walking to the bench to pick up my borrowed glove, the captain of the other team said to the captain of my team, "Hey, it's okay. She really does know how to play, so let's not count her outs." I said, "What are you talking about? Don't count my outs. I want you to count my outs. I want my outs to count." Which made me instantly unpopular with my entire team. So I said, "Oh, I get it. Don't count my outs. Oh, that's good strategy too. And it makes me feel so special. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you." I really said something like that. I was babbling like an idiot. Well, eventually I resumed my place in the outfield and continued watching the dandelions grow and blossom and turn into puffs and blow away in the chilly wind. And I began to question my worth as a human being and my reason for living. But then, top of the seventh, 2 on, 2 out, a crack of the bat, a mighty clout. My whole team turned and cringed to see that speeding ball was heading vaguely toward me. I ran as fast as I could. I said a prayer. I stuck out my glove. The ball landed in there. No one could believe it on either team. They whooped and hollered, they stomped and screamed, and total strangers watched it, clapped and cheered. Aware that God had performed a miracle here, I was carried to the bench. I was handed a beer. Then the clouds broke apart, and then the sun reappeared. Oh. No, it didn't. I'm lying about that part, but everything else is true. I wanted to live again. Oh, by the way, we lost that game, 17-3. But I considered it a moral victory. And Janicean, wherever you might be, take heart. There's hope for you, because there's hope for me. Oh, take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Oh, buy me some peanuts. I'll buy you Cracker Jacks. Long as you count my outs when I come up to bat. Oh, now it's root for both teams. Win or lose or win, we're all the same. Oh, won't you please take me out to the old ball game? Come on, please take me out to the old ball game. And I played that entire game with that little pearl in my sneaker. And then I took it to a jeweler and had it appraised, and he said it was worth $80, that pearl. How about that? And my sister, Mary, at the time only had one pierced ear, so I bought a little backing for it. And you know it's worth more than $80, because if a jeweler tells you it's worth $80, it's probably worth $100 or $120. And I gave it to my little sister, and I found it outside where the Gershwins used to live. And just like that irritant that created that beautiful little pearl, not counting my outs, turned into a song. And I've met people that have told me over the years, this one guy actually put up on his wall in his office, he said, I want my outs to count. And you know what? That's what we all want. We want our runs to count, but we want our outs to count too. Hey, did you watch any of the Democratic National Convention? It was pretty wild, wasn't it? It was that little boy who stuttered. Oh my God. I was crying like a baby. That was so sweet. It'd be very interesting to see what happens next week. But anyway, I gotta, I'm running out of time. But this next song, because of that baseball song, about 10 years later, I was commissioned to write a new song about baseball by the people at Lincoln Center. And I came up with this idea that I would interview the oldest living Cracker Jack vendor at Yankee Stadium, and I would write a song about him and have him come out with his Cracker Jack tray and bow. And wouldn't that be a great thing? Well, I had to call the Yankees. Yankees were not nice. I'm just going to tell you, they were not nice to me. And I made so many phone calls, and finally I got this guy at the front office, and he said, you have no idea the legal ramifications you are asking. I said, what legal ramifications could there be? He said, New York Yankee is a trademark term. Cracker Jack is a trademark term. If we let you do this, and we're not saying we will, but if we did, we would have to go through your song line by line by line. This could never happen within a year. So move along. So I said, excuse me, but maybe I should write a song about how the legal profession is ruining a nice moment for baseball and music to connect. And he goes, oh yeah? Well, maybe you should write a song about me hanging up on you. And then I said, took it a step too far. I said, excuse me, is this George Costanza I'm speaking with? I think that's like the biggest insult you can ever ask a man. Is this George Costanza? So I never got to meet the oldest living Cracker Jack vendor at Yankee Stadium, but 2 days before the big event at Lincoln Center, I woke up with a brainstorm. The New York Yankees cannot prevent me from making up a song about a Cracker Jack vendor who works at Yankee Stadium. So I've written a song that I hope will give the New York Yankees headaches and heartaches for years and years to come, and it's called The Legal Ramifications of a Cracker Jack Vendor Who Works at Yankee Stadium. His name is Joe. He sells Cracker Jacks in Yankee Stadium. Her name is Flo. She's getting kinda hungry, thinks I'm gonna get me some. Oh, it's been a long time since Flo ate Cracker Jacks. She forgot about the free prize. She starts chowing down and does not know a plastic yo-yo is hidden inside. Flo starts choking on the yo-yo. People sitting around her all say, uh-oh, man. Yo-yo shoots out like a bullet from a Luger. Yo-yo hits an old lady yakking on her cell phone, paralyzes her temporarily. She drops the cell phone, then she falls over the railing and screams, oh, what's to become of me? It's not that sad. She was a criminal on the 10 most wanted list. She even stole the tickets to this baseball game, so let's face it, she won't be missed. A seeing-eyed dog picks up her cell phone, gives it to his owner. Dog thought it was an old bone. The blind guy calls a pal in Timbuktu. He calls his wife, his girlfriend, and his mother too. People sitting near the blind guy start yelling they're sick of his yakety-yak. But he don't care, he keeps on talking. He tells his dog to attack. Oh, the seeing-eyed dog bites a tiny baby. Don't worry, doesn't hurt it that much. But the mommy gets mad. She lunges at the dog. She gives him a great big shove. The dog lands on a man eating a bowl of chop suey. He's a Japanese tourist here to cheer Matsui. Japanese guy's allergic to dogs and cats. He starts having asthma and a heart attack. People sitting near him start screaming, "Somebody get the medics and tell them to bring a defibrillator." But it broke last week in the clubhouse in an unsuccessful attempt to revive an elderly waiter. Just then Derek Jeter hits a foul ball into the section of the stands. As luck would have it, the ball comes down in the Japanese guy's hands. Just for a second, the stadium is hushed, followed by a tremendous rush. The crowd pounces on the Japanese guy grabbing for the ball. It jump starts his heart, he doesn't die after all. Meanwhile, Tommy Smothers is walking through the stands. He sees a yo-yo lying on the stairs. He bends down to pick it up, but people tell him, "Don't. A lady choked on it." Tommy don't care. Tommy Smothers doing all these fancy yo-yo tricks. People are clapping, having a really great time. When suddenly Flo stands up and screams, "Give me back the yo-yo, Tommy Smothers, it's mine!" Flo and Tommy Smothers get into a big fight, kicking and screaming with all their might. Punches are thrown, tempers flare, yo-yo flies up into the air. Joe the Cracker Jack vendor catches a yo-yo, puts it in his pocket, and he walks away. The Yankees lose that game to Red Sox. Joe sells a yo-yo on eBay. Oh, the Japanese guy takes a turn for the worse. I'm so sad to report his family wants to sue Derek Jeter and the Yankees for millions. Yankees want to settle out of court. The case drags on for more than a year. Derek Jeter drowns his sorrow in beer. Steinbrenner falls in love, and what do you know? The new girl of his dreams is a yo-yo woman, Flo. Yo-yo Ma and the Smothers brothers play at the church the day Flo and Steinbrenner are wed. They feast on champagne and Cracker Jacks. Steinbrenner chokes on a prize and drops dead. I hope I didn't leave any of the parts out. And I had updated it, but now I've gone back to the original. I updated it to A-Rod. But I don't know. People like A-Rod again because you know, his affianced girl, our girl, Jenny from the block. I'm going to do one more song, and in the chat room is the information about how to come to our after concert Zoom party. And we will have Andrew Ratchin of Electric Bonsai Band fame, and Uncle Bonsai, and Matt Price, and a duo who are doing their own concert tomorrow night, but they're going to be special surprise guests in the Zoom song swap. And this, again, is a request, and this is the first song I ever wrote about Santa Monica, and it was way, way back in the mid-1980s, and I had done it in a tuning that was too high for me back then, so now it's really too high for me, and because Van Ronk was trying to get me off the capo, I've changed the guitar chart. God, I just hope that I remember it. But it was such a lovely day. In fact, I think it might, no, it was before the incident with the $5 bill. I've got beach glass and tokens in my pocket, sizing up each other's worth. Neither one'll do me any good here. I'll throw them into the surf. The palm trees will look a little bit like Tina Turner looks from behind. The boys on their skateboards have strategically tousled hair, the Bon Jovi kind. I am a stranger here, strolling down the Santa Monica Pier. Picnic baskets and fishing gear, ice cream cones, souvenirs. There's a fine warm western breeze stirring up the Tina Turner trees. I have dreamed of days like these all of my life. Roller skaters with their headphones on, they sway to the private beat I drop into the crown and anchor. Time to eat, time to eat. No matter what it is I order, I know there's an avocado hidden on this plate. I don't like them, but I still eat them. I'm not tempting fate. I am a stranger here. Oops, I'm a stranger here. Strolling down the Santa Monica Pier. Picnic baskets and fishing gear. Ice cream cones, souvenirs. Oh, there's a fine warm western breeze stirring up the Tina Turner trees. Oh, I have dreamed of days like these all of my life. Back home I hear the stock market's booming, booming. The bears and the bulls say they're taking it all in stride. Out here they're hot air ballooning. Yeah, they go zooming up into the sky. I am a stranger here. Santa Monica Pier. Fishing gear. Souvenirs, get your souvenirs here. Feel that breeze. Shake you tree, shake it up. Days like these. Look at that beautiful Mexican boy holding tight to his papa's hand. Mira, mira, he cries as he points to the papaya juice stand. Look at that old lady dozing off. I wonder what she's dreaming of. What could be better than this, except for maybe being in love? I am a stranger here, strolling on the Santa Monica Pier. Picnic baskets and fishing gear. Ice cream cones, souvenirs, souvenirs. Oh, now I feel that breeze. Oh, now you shake your tree, shake it up. I have dreamed of days like these all of my life. Dreamed of days like these. Oh, I have dreamed of days like these. Thank you, Santa Monica. Thank you, McCabe's Guitar Shop. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, Brandon O'Sullivan, for being at the controls. And now, meet me at the Zoom party. I'll see you there.
All right, everybody, we are going to post the Zoom meeting link again. Just so you know, there is limited seating in the Zoom meeting, so I'm going to post a link for a YouTube overflow as well. I'll post that, and then we'll head over there. See you guys very shortly.